afternoon, and welcome back to Getting Out of Our Own Way 8-week program. We are at week 3, and I appreciate that you're still here and showing up for yourself and showing up for me. So, thank you. Last week, I asked for a roll call to see who was still on board, and I did it in the form of a question. And the question I asked was, what is your edge and what do you do when you come to your edge? And I appreciate the responses I got. A lot of what I was hearing was when we meet our edge, we self medicate, we lash out at other people, we get really small. And so my sense is that it isn't just one edge, it's actually how we respond to life quite frequently. And so I think it's something that we should spend some time on. So we've chosen one edge to work with, and I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to actually really engage with that energy as opposed to doing the same thing each time and responding to life in the same way and not shifting things. So that's what we're going to work with this afternoon and what we're going to work with this week. So I'm going to use myself as an example. My edge is insomnia. When I wake up in the middle of the night, and it's happened on a number of nights, my edge is knowing how to work with it. And so the first thing I want you to do is name it. So that's mine. Insomnia is really tough. I feel like I've been in uncharted waters and I've been responding in a way that isn't supportive. So I'm naming it. That's what's true for me. The next thing that I want you to do is call attention to it. So if you've got a partner, if you've got a good friend, you might just bring it up to them. So sometimes I'll say to my husband, really feel like I'm working with insomnia right now. And it's showing up in the way that I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling out of control, and I ask for what I need. I need to feel supported right now. I need you to come up. I need you to put your arms around me and hold me so that I feel secure. So the first thing we do is we name it, and then we call attention to it so that we don't feel like we're on an island. Step 3 in this process is knowing where we go when we hit our edge. So just to say again, so for some of you it's we numb out, and for others we lash out or we go in. For me, I self-medicate. That's what I do. And I also have a tendency in that moment to seek the support and insight from others. So I go to a number of different places, and it's more neuroses than trying to find a solution. The solution is here, and that's what I need to work with. So I want you to identify, where do I typically go? When you find yourself going in that direction, catch yourself. Say to yourself, I'm not going down that path again. This is where it stops. And it may not stop there. And so when we do it, we have compassion for ourselves. But we want to start identifying the habits and calling attention to them so that they stop. So that's step 3. Step 4 is knowing how you feel in that moment. The key in this is not knowing how you feel, it's knowing how you feel. What's going on in your body? So when I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I start getting panicked. And for me, it's very old. It's from my childhood. I start feeling panicked. I feel a lot of self-loathing towards myself, which is it's pretty lousy feeling. I feel a need to come up with 10 different solutions, and I try 10 different solutions. And so it's really in the moment, feeling into it. Okay, I am feeling nervous. I am feeling very sped up. I'm feeling tightness in my arms, shortness of breath. Just get so clear on what you are feeling and not thinking. We don't want to go down the rabbit hole. We don't want to start thinking. So, for instance, for me, I don't want to start going to those places of, if I don't get a good night's sleep tonight, I'm going to be, have a tough time with my clients. I might be short with my son. Those are the places we've gone in the past, and it's not supportive. So, step 4 is come right into your body. And not only that, it's to go to the center of the feeling. Okay, so for me, it's like when I feel pain come up, I breathe right into the center of it. That's something that it might take a little bit of time and practice to embody what I'm saying, but I feel it, and instead of going away from it, I go towards it. It's kind of counterintuitive. The 5th piece is come up with a plan on the front end of what I'm going to do when I come to my edge again. So for me, I came up with a plan that first and foremost, when I sit up and I start feeling the fear, I slow down. That's number 1 on my list. I slow. I slow my breathing. I slow my desire to move around and find a solution. I just slow everything down. Then I may get up and do some yin yoga poses. Now, the key is that we don't switch from one thing to the next. We have a plan and we choose 1 or 2 things, and that's it. We do them slowly. So I may do some yin yoga postures for 5 or 6 minutes each posture. And I'm breathing, I'm not going down the rabbit hole, and I'm just holding these poses. Another part of my plan may be to read a book. TRE or shaking could be on my list. So the thing is, instead of going to those habits, I have at the outset thought of a plan for when I hit my edge again. And inevitably, we are all going to hit our edge. So let's come up with a plan of how we work with it, how we identify our old habits, and how we're going to work with it. Make sense? Okay, so just to review this process again, the first thing that we're going to do is name it. So, I am feeling a little like I've hit my edge around insomnia. Then I might call attention to it. I might go to my husband and say, yeah, I'm really working with this right now and I'm feeling out of control. And I'm going to ask him for what I need. Then I go into my body and I feel what's there. I'm feeling tightness. I'm feeling pain in my arms. And I don't go into the story. If there is one thing that's really important, don't go into the story, because it will take you right back to where you always began. And then we go into the plan that we created for what we're going to do when we meet our edge. And we choose 1 or 2 things, and that's what we work with super, super slowly. So, this is a work in progress. I worked with this about 2 months ago for the first time, and it took me a good 2 weeks to really, it was like I felt that mountain moving every single night. And then the fear lessens, its grip wasn't as strong, and it's not to say it won't come back, but now we know how to work with it. And if there's nothing else you remember, have so much compassion for yourself. This is a tough road. This is also a multi-pronged approach, and it will take some support. So when you signed up for this program, I had said that one piece that was really important was to do some personal work with me. I typically, for first-time clients, do not do anything less than 60 minutes, but for this assignment, if you would like to work with me for a 20-minute session, we can determine what your plan is for what you do in the throes of hitting your edge. We can come up with that together. You can go to my website, carolynflyer.com, and request either a 20-minute session with me or a 60-minute session with me, and we can start doing this work. This is really, really powerful, and what you'll find is that when you apply it to this particular situation, you will see the thread into other situations where you can pull this in and just tweak it. You just tweak your plan. But there's such a feeling of empowerment when you are not being ruled by your edge, but you are working it head on, right? So I want to thank you for showing up today and working with us. And I will determine what the follow-up is for this particular week, what the assignment is with this. But start working with your plan. Have a great day, you all.